it stands right now, I think I'm going to be on the Grammy committee. So, like another thing, it was just random. So it was like, again, all my dreams, literally all my dreams. Like when I had the film premiere, like Tribeca, like that happened, and I was like, yo, how does this even happen to me? You know what I'm saying? Like it's been all these little things, but so that's coming up, and I'll show you how God works. It turned out they was trying to recruit me for the committee like 2 years ago, and I didn't even know it. It was like, so they just now said, it was like, after everything I've been doing, it was like, oh, well, now you're even more better for this role. And I was like, Jesus, really? Okay. So I've been teetering on the line about music. It's weird because it's like a lot of people used to know me for it, and I'm in between about it. I stepped away at a time when used to be signed to a label. Okay. Oh, do we have to get into this story? Jeez. Okay. All right. How am I saying this story? Okay.
Talk about it.
Nah. Okay. So I was signed to a label, right? And right when they got ready to sign a distribution deal with Rock Nation, they handed me this contract, and I was like, oh, ain't no way in hell I'm signing this, right? So I left. But when we left, it was, the process of it was like, it was like almost like heartbreaking, because I put so much into this journey that I was like, damn, you know, like this ain't what I wanted. This is far from what I wanted. This is like terrible right now. And then I had to relearn to love music. And this was one of the great things of why like being at the studios helped, because it helped me to like see music from a pure place. Like I remember being in a position where all I wanted was somebody just to listen to my music. Like I didn't even care if they, you know what I'm saying, liked it or not. I just wanted somebody to hear it. And then I remember just being like, man, I hope somebody like it. Then I remember getting to the place of just saying like, man, I just want to see if I could make this. So I had to get back to that place, to remove expectation from music, because that was messing it up. It was like each record, I had a higher expectation. I wanted to put me on a higher platform, and I just like, not too long ago, before when I got signed, I got married, so I wanted it to provide for my family, and I was like, I put all these years into it, so I can't just turn around. But I needed to get back to a place where I loved music again. Like it wasn't work. It was like I needed to get back to a place where I enjoyed it, and this helped it. So I've been making music. A lot of people who randomly come in and hear it, they've been like, yo, this is like the most amazing thing I've ever heard you do. And they were like, so when you dropping this? I'm like, I'm not. Like, that sucks. So
Never.
But I won't say never.
Yeah.
I've been teetering with the idea. I've been thinking about it, because it's like, it's only so long you kind of stay away from it. It's like a relationship, you know? It's like a, you know what I'm saying, an ex or something like that. Like, on again, off again. And so, but that's what I've been teetering on the line of. So I've made. And plus, somebody told me this key thing, but two key things. One was, they say the kids that you work with need to see you happy too. You know, like they need to see you in your element, because it makes it more real for them. It's like, it's different when you're just, you know, oh, this Ad, or, you know, they only call me Ad, they call me 2. They be like, yo, that's 2 over at the studio. You know what I'm saying? But then they get those glimpses when they be like, when we freestyle or something like that, and they be like, yo, you really do this. Like, this is no joke. Or other people come in and be like, do you know who this is? And they be like, this is 2. And they be like, no, it's not. And they be like, it's some myth or something like that. So they need to, somebody told me, it's like, they need to see you in your element too. Because it's just like when you see your parents happy. You know, like when you see your parents like doing the thing that they used to do, you be like, damn, Austin used to be a painter, and you like surprised.
Yeah.
So it's like that. And then somebody told me today, it was like, you know, we were talking about you know, Tato, the kid we lost, and it was like, man, you know, now, like, as much as he wanted to rap, it's like, you mean to tell me that you can and you're not going to? And I was like, damn, you're right. It's like, that puts it in perspective. It's like, that's all he wanted to do was rap. And now he's not able to do so. So it's like, you're here. You have this gift. You have this talent. And you're not sharing it because you don't want to. Why? You know, like, I don't know about anybody else, but me personally, man, I'm a firm believer in God. Like, I believe that, you know, that's where all my blessings flow from. It's like, my grandma used to always tell me this phrase. I used to take care of my grandmother. And my grandmother, she's 97. And she has Alzheimer's and dementia. And she used to always tell me this phrase, even as she, you know, would start kind of losing it, she always said, you know, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall guide your path. And when I fully understood that, that's when things started to change. It was like everything was for him and it's not for me. It was like I didn't believe I was capable of doing anything. I think I'm very regular. I firmly believe I'm very regular. You know, like
this man has a TED Talk. Like, that's not regular.
So you can get one too. Trust me. There's no difference between you and I. It's like but it's like once I kind of figured that out and I stopped thinking about self and started thinking about what I could do for people, then it changed up everything. Then it felt like all those doors started opening because people seen it wasn't just for me. Like, when you're giving to one person and one thing, it's a very selfish cause. But then when you're being selfless, then it's the people like, you know, I'm not just giving to you, you're just the person who's giving it to others. Mm-hmm. So that's how I kind of seen things. And I think that's what ultimately changed it, because when I was pursuing my goals for myself, then there's so much inclusion that could happen. But when you're doing something for a greater cause, then more people can get behind that. They're like, you know what, I'm not just behind the person. You know, the person's cool, that's nice, but I'm more so behind the cause.
Like, what have they done, right?
Yeah.
What are they doing for other people?
Exactly. Because everybody doesn't necessarily want to get their hands dirty, you know?
Right.
But, you know, they can help in other ways. So,
absolutely.
At a time when I was like stashing drugs in my parents' closet because it was trying to save one of my homies because his house was too hot, I ran into one of my friends who had a studio, and it wasn't even a studio. It was like a computer and a microphone in the closet, and I started being there every day. So my time to being in trouble was like lessened, right? Then from there, I started making the music, but then it started to flow to other things. So I was like, well, I made all this music. Now what I'm gonna do? I was like, I wanna go perform this music. So then we started going to open mics. So now my time got even more decreased. And then the time when I did have downtime, I was too busy thinking about the next round for me to be hanging out. So I thought that would be necessary. So, you know, I told my partner about it. He's like, man, just draft it up. Let's see what we can do. And I talked to my pastor as well. I was like, man, he was like, so what can you do to bring something to the community? And I was like, I had this idea, it's random, I know. It may not necessarily be affiliated with the church, but I think it would be a great thing. And then he believed in it too. And then we built a studio in the community center next door to the church. And so now every day from 10:30 until 6 o'clock, and 6 is not really a good number because like I don't leave out to about like 7, but they are able to come in there and create. And it's been like a second home for a lot of these kids on the south side of Chicago.